Hi there, I'm Dwayne Gillespie with Faileas Creations. Welcome to our garden. Early spring, March 4th, I think. So here in the mountains of western North Carolina, still a little too soon to get anything growing good, but we're starting to get a few things popped up. We're starting to plan things out for the spring. Come on in. We have a small garden. It's not very large. You can see probably 30 by 40, something like that, I guess. We usually plant plenty of things that we use through the year, including a lot of the items that a lot of the plants that we use in our soaps. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what Faileas actually is and what it means. Like I said, my last name is Gillespie, which is Scottish, and Faileas is Scottish Gaelic for reflection. And I would like to think that what we do is a reflection of what we put out to y'all, the products and the items that we sell to y'all. Each year you'll notice that we've got some mulch put down. We actually laid this in last year, and we're pretty frugal with what we do around here. And we were actually able to get 4 loads, I think, of mulch for free. You call a lot of times, if you will call a tree service, they have to pay a lot of times to dump that stuff, and they're more than anxious to give it away if they can, so they don't have to pay. This is one of our fruit trees. This is a pear tree. And see, it's actually in really good shape this year. The first year that we got it, we had an accident where the fence behind it blew over and broke it, and I was actually able to tape it up and put some plant protecting salve on it right here. You see some of that. Still got a scar, but it healed up nice. I think that if I plant it, I'm not certain it's going to bear fruit until I get another pear tree planted to go with it. But it's doing good. It's certainly growing fast. I think in this section last year we had watermelons and cantaloupe. It'll probably be something very similar to that again this year. On the outside, you can see a dried up hydrangea, but it'll come back, like always. This is an apple tree, and I'm hoping, I thought that there was plenty enough apple trees. We're surrounded on all sides by apple orchards, and I thought that it would be close enough that it would actually cross-pollinate. Maybe it was just still too young to actually breed, but I'll probably end up putting another apple tree or so in here so that it actually bear fruit at some point. Over here, we put in peppers. These are the dried up plants from last year. Bell peppers and some cayenne hot peppers. Along the outside edge, we planted corn last year. We may end up doing the same thing again this year. Got to work on our fence a little bit. Every year during the winter, it kind of takes a beating around here a little bit. Winters are usually pretty rough up here on this little knoll. We get a lot of heavy wind. It kind of takes its toll on things. It was a particularly dry winter this year too, so we'll probably have to water more this year than we did last. We ended up planting several vegetables, mostly what we like to eat. We'll have salad mix, and we'll have cucumbers, and we can our own cucumbers into pickles. We'll have onions. What else do we have? Of course, tomatoes and green beans. We usually try to plant some sweet peas. Come on over this way. This is kind of a little working section that Sabrina had put together. As you can see here, these are actually, just got these couple of blueberry bushes. I'm going to plant those somewhere. I'm not real sure where I'm going to plant those at yet. Usually have potted plants. A lot of times we just put flowers in here. It looks really nice in the middle of the summer with all this autumn. Have nice flowers, but a lot of times it just turns into basically a utility mound where we put stuff, seed trays and things like that we haven't gotten the ground yet. This is the castor plant. It's a very interesting plant. I suspect it'll probably come back. I don't think it necessarily comes back from that. I think it may probably come back from, it reseeds every year. If you hadn't ever seen, most people are going to know what castor oil is. This is what castor oil comes from. Grows to be maybe 6 feet high, has large reddish green leaves. Very pretty plant. It's very unusual looking. And the roots are actually poisonous, so they help keep out moles and voles from the garden. So if you get a chance, I recommend putting those around in the area if you have problems with moles and voles. We put some boxes in where we put some perennials in. You can see these are some of the ones that we're going to actually use in our soaps. This is lavender, which is a perennial. It's going to come back every year. This is sage. I like to use that in cooking. And over there we have some greens that, since this is spring, they're doing really good right now. This is the time of year where they're really going to take off. We got some rosemary here. Got some rosemary. This is usually here. I usually plant some of the annual herbs like basil right here. Got basil. Not certain what was growing in there last year. I think that was some basil over there also. That potted plant is supposed to be oregano, which is a perennial. I'm not certain if that'll come back or not. This is a strawberry patch. Not certain if the strawberries will come back in here this year or not. We've made some changes on this. We've got garlic underneath this, and we've got onions in here. Not certain. We'll probably plant more onions in there. And this here is usually our tomato patch. Obviously, there's no tomatoes in it now. And we really try to compost this through the winter so that the soil stays really nice in that tomato patch, and we usually have a lot of success. It's our little greenhouse. It didn't weather the winter very well. It's got a lot of work that needs to be done to it. And then, if you'll look back here, you see a very large lot. And probably in about a month, it's going to be snow white, the entire thing, because all of that is blackberries, all of it. The blackberries, I don't know if any of you that are watching it are from this area, that are not from this area, not familiar with how blackberries are. Blackberries are delicious. They are also very evasive. A lot of people don't like to have them in their yard because they are so evasive and very hard to deal with. It's a very thorny, briary bush that produces a nice berry. Make cobblers and preserves, and we have tons of them. They stretch the entire length of the property, which goes down another 150 feet or so to the end of our property. We usually try to harvest out several. Follow me into the greenhouse. It's our little greenhouse. We kind of let it get a little out of hand, but we're working on it. It certainly needs some repairs. We're going to do some major repairs to it this year. We built it the first year that we moved in here, and it's held up pretty good, but These are some gourds. We grow these every year. They grow to different sizes. And then when the end of the season, you let them dry out. And take them off the vine, put them somewhere where they're going to stay fairly dry. And let them dry until they're ready. And then when they're hollow, you can hear the seeds shaking around in them. You hear that? That one's pretty much ready. And that's the seed packs, the seed balls that are inside there. And when we cut those open and clean them out, we take the seeds out and we resell the seeds. They're very easy to grow. Not only do they produce the gourds, but they produce a very pretty and delicate white flower that's very large. So they're very pretty when they start growing. And of course, you can do all kind of things with the gourds. Bird houses and jewelry displays and any number of things. You can make water drink things. And if you're creative, you can do all kind of stuff with them. We usually try to set up in here and set our seeds up early on. The next day or so, we'll probably start getting that going. Get a seed starters ready so that we can get them ready to go. We don't spend too much time in here in midsummer. It's way too hot in here in midsummer. But we're working on it. Well, that's our small garden. And like I said, you can start one of these of your own. You don't need a lot of room. Like I said, we don't use more than about 30 or 40 feet of our property. Probably 30 or 40 foot by 40 foot. So thanks for spending time with us and enjoying our products. Thank you. Until next time.